All right, who is ready for today's topics? I'm going to spend at least probably 30, 40 minutes, and I'm going to talk through. I did a breakout at a event the last several days, and I talked about the 8 different types of marketing that you can do. It's more of like an insurance marketing 101. Okay. And the 8 areas are, and I'm going to talk through these: leads, advertising, social, emails, events, podcast, Google and YouTube, and testimonials. And so I'm going to talk through each one of these. I also, as you have questions about each one, please throw them in chat. This is more of like an insurance marketing 101, basics, things that we're doing, things we've learned, things I've seen other people do that are being successful. And so the first one is leads, right? There's a lot of different types of leads. There's Kaboom, obviously. There's also, though, direct mail leads. Direct mail has been king. It's been around forever. It's phenomenal for face-to-face sales, especially door knocking. There is also Medicare seminars. That's still a form of leads, doing a seminar. Also, if I keep touching my eye, my blind eye is driving me nuts today, and I don't know if it's allergies or what it is. And it's kind of leaking. So if you see me play with my eye, that is why. Seminars, I mean, events, seminars, phenomenal way, whether it's Medicare seminars, retirement seminars, like doing, and the way that works is you do a mailing, people register for a seminar at a, restaurant, college, whatever. They show up, you educate them on that topic, and then at the end, you ask if they would like to book an appointment with you. And those still work. Do we do a lot of it for life insurance? No, but for other product types, it is still big. Also, I need some scissors so I can cut off like that portion of my hair right there. Deanna says, is direct mail still as effective today? Um, I don't think it's as effective today. Some would say it is. I still think it's effective though. Do I think it's been more effective in the past? Yes. Do I think certain areas get different returns? Yes. Mortgage protection, as an example, like I've had a bunch of people jumping on mortgage protection leads simply because they just can't get mortgage protection through the mail. A lot of vendors or IMOs, they lock down certain territories when someone decides they want those leads in that territory, but they struggle to get returns. And so a lot of mortgage leads through the mail are like 80 to 130 bucks a lead. Like just it's crazy pricing. However, direct mail can still work in some cases. Okay. And then also there's calls and live transfers, right? So that's where you're sitting there and a call center, like we have a call center partner that we work with on our final expense calls as an example. And what they do is they pre-qualify for health, bank account, and that they want to speak to an agent. And then they transfer it right into your phone, cell phone, dialer, whatever phone you want. Just can't do a home phone. Just kidding. I guess you could. However, they call your number, you answer, and they introduce you to the prospect, right? And so that's a form of marketing, form of leads. And so the biggest thing with agents that I see is they need to be running 10, they need to be asking, in my professional opinion, you need to be asking at least 10 to 20 people to actually buy the type of insurance that you sell every week, or this will feel like a roller coaster. That's minimum. Now, if I was going back in the field, dude, I would be like, okay, how can I ask? No joke. If you were like, Cody, what would you do? Dude, I would say, I would want to say, I would want to figure out how could I ask 40 to, how could I be teed up and run appointments with 40 to 50 people a week? That would be my personal goal. Okay. Full transparency, right? Bigger number kind of freaks people out. However, if I was going back into selling insurance, I would have a big nut to crack, so to speak. I would need to make a bunch of money, and I would do that in a different way where I would say, hey, dude, I need to make at least 10 to 20 grand a week, at minimum to even pay my bills, just personal finances, right? So, okay, so how do I do that? Well, that I do that by seeing a lot of freaking people, okay? A lot of people, and figuring out what lead source you're going to use, and then trying to figure that out from there and figuring, okay, this is what I do. Once you figure out something that works, and full transparency, most people do not give lead vendors enough time. Stephen Robinson, most people they give a lead vendor like one chance, right? He's seen this, and others on the call have seen this. You cannot judge a lead vendor or a lead until you've the best range is 3 to 6 weeks, in my opinion. which is why we're coming out with weekly subscriptions with discounts for Kaboom. Okay. And there's 4 benefits to being on a weekly subscription with Kaboom, as an example. The first is that you get consistent lead flow, which is very, very, very important when it comes to leads. Okay. Consistent lead flow. Number 2 is there's discounted rates because you're on a subscription. Number 3 is we're going to move you to you get priority. We're going to move you to the front of the line. And 4, we will fill it faster. Okay. And so higher speed. Okay. Dylan just unmuted, buddy. Go for it.
Oh, I just joined into the meeting.
You're good. No worries. Sorry. I didn't see any unmutes, and then I did. I'm like, well, maybe he has a question. No big deal. Thanks for being here. So there's different types of leads. Also, too, you again, you need to get to where you're figuring out what the lead type is that you like, and then you are literally trying that lead for 3 to 6 weeks minimum. Minimum. That is how you determine if something is going to be viable or not. Okay. Very, very, very important. Very important. Okay. That is the lead section. Before I move to advertising, I'm going to talk about 8 strategies if I have time. Any questions on the first strategy, which is leads? Any questions on certain lead types, types, whatever. If we have one, I'll wait 15, 20, 30 seconds, see if we have any questions about the lead portion. I've talked about this a bunch over the months that you guys have been a part of the academy. I would assume that I've covered it or answered the question at some point. However, if you have any questions on leads, throw it in there. Okay. Next, number 2 is advertising. Again, I'm giving you basics around what I look at when I am trying to figure out the ad, some of these different strategies. Second is advertising. Here's one of the things that I do to learn and get better at advertising. I pay attention to the ads that are being shown to me. Okay. Here's 3 ideas. 1, I pay attention to the ads that are being shown to me, because you can learn a lot by seeing an ad and saying, oh, I like that. Okay. If you like that ad, what did they do that got you to like that ad? First thing, I study ads that are being shown to me. Second, with advertising, I also research my competition to see what are they doing that I am not doing, or what are they doing well, or why are they winning? So I'm also looking at competition. And then I'm researching the different ad libraries and different social media platforms to do research on the different ads that are running in my niche. Okay. That is a big portion, right? Hunter says, look at comments, reviews, testimonials, 100%. There's got a bunch of comments. I look. I also, if it doesn't have any comments, either it sucks or they just started running the ad. Like, there's ways to kind of gauge what's happening, but I love to look at ads that are running, being shown to me, other people are running, because I can learn from what's happening. Here's what you can gather. Okay. Most people say, well, what should a landing page look like? Well, dude, go look at at people that are spending a bunch of money on marketing and doing really well, and see what their landing page looks like. That gives you an idea of what a landing page should look like, right? I rarely, I know everybody thinks, that I set the standard for marketing in the industry, but that's not always true. I rarely create something from scratch without doing research. Very rarely, ever. That's a huge takeaway from the ad portion. And with the ads portion, video does better than graphics. Graphics will equals lower quality. Video equals higher quality, because with a graphic, you can sum up a graphic in half a second, right? But a video, you've got to watch at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 seconds of the video to understand what's happening. And so the videos are very enticing. Also, advertising. I'm giving you some huge nuggets today. Hopefully you're catching all this. I'll probably give you more on this call than I've given in a minute. Also, when it comes to video ads, I like emotional video ads. So like our term life insurance video for our Kaboom term life insurance leads, there's an emotional tie of a son that lost his mom, but thankfully she had life insurance and he got a check. That's pretty good. Like we just had somebody the other day that was like, man, dude, your term life insurance leads are the best ever been. I am loving them. Well, dude, that is 100% why. 100% why. And it's because we are doing things in that manner, okay, which is big. GPT can also really help with website building. Advertising. Any other questions on ads? Okay, I gave you several different nuggets there. I don't want to bog you down with too much, but I want to give you some basics. Here's another one. When I'm testing out, let's just say I am testing out a graphic. I test out like a dozen different colors or like the whole color scheme. And then I can, like, I'll give you an example. One of our top performing ads for something retirement related was actually red, which is normally like a no-no for ads, but it was outperforming all the other colors, surprisingly. Stephen Robinson.
Yeah. So when you're in the ad library, is there a way to see, like for me, T65? Of course, next year with all the changes, everybody's going to be doing T65 for Medicare. Is there a way to see how many people in your market are actually running a T65 ad and then like go search for a different market? Nah. Okay.
No, the only way you could is you could make a list of like, okay, here's the top 25 Medicare agencies, and then go look at all their Facebook pages to see if they're running anything. I will tell you, most are not. Most are not. But physically searching the phrase turning 65 is the best way to look. Now, looking in your area, unfortunately, you cannot search by territory, but you can search by physical brands. So if you're wanting to know if somebody's running a T65 ad, you can go search their actual Facebook page name or business name. Yeah, good question. Great question. I wish that was a feature. I like that idea a lot. Yeah, I wish that was a feature. That's really good. Also, good to see you, by the way, buddy. Appreciate you being on. Anything else on the ads before I move to social? Also, you didn't see me drinking a sugar-free Red Bull. Yeah, you did not see that.
My question, Cody, have you ever heard of the T65 locator app?
Yes.
Does that work? What is it? I just heard about it from someone.
Have you heard about that, Stephen, too?
Yeah, so there's two out there. One's offered by Integrity. So that one's just going to give you addresses. It worked better when it was compliant to go door knock med subs, but really you shouldn't door knock any Medicare anymore. There's also another one that's it's like $15 and it'll give you phone numbers. It's an iPhone app, Android app. So I'll put that one in school. That if you were going to use one, it would be that, because you can get 200 free names with actually mailing addresses and phone numbers. But
That's cool. Yeah, feel free to throw that in school if you want to share that. Yeah. You're in our school app? Yeah, community? Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Perfect. I see both of you said yes. Tanya said, looking forward to getting started with the business. This will be my first time working with paid leads. What's your difference between working with leads versus warm market leads? Well, warm market didn't request information, but they know who you are. Paid leads request information, whether they say they didn't or not, but they don't know who you are. And so, yeah, leads they already want it. Warm market they don't, but they know who you are. Yeah. Warm market is a great way to learn. Great way to practice, great way to write some business, make some money without having to spend money. It's a tougher road. Like I had one agent years ago that I worked with my mentorship program back in 2016, early 2016. He said his brother wouldn't talk to him because he asked him about life insurance, and that relationship was ruined. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, have you lost your mind? But good news is I've never ruined relationships in warm market asking about insurance because I don't ever assume I'm going to ruin a relationship of any kind ever, right? I think that's a good approach to have. And apparently my family's a little more reasonable than that family, but that's okay. Yeah, good question though, because it is a great way to get in front of people for sure. Leads, advertising, next is social. I'm not going to give much on social because I've just did a social selling challenge. I did the social selling insiders. I'm doing social selling and roadshows. I'm doing a couple webinars in October about social. So, I mean, and you guys heard me talk about social a lot. I'll say the couple things really quick. Here, if you are doing social media, find stuff that's done well, do that. But here's the way I think about a video. Okay. Hook, content, CTA, right? We've created a whole new school community called Social Selling Insiders to help people with social. We have a actually special coach coming in next month, a bunch of people that are wanting to learn social. I was hanging out with Deanna and Tim and Caroline and some others that are literally making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year by posting on social and generating leads on social. Like, it's crazy impressive. Hook, what's the hook? Get their attention the first few seconds. Content, what's the content that is in that you're going to share with them, the value, the story, whatever the content, then the call to action. And the call to action is, comment your age, or download this free guide, or send me a message, or go to this website, or, some type of call to action to where you can actually participate with them. That's the 3 pieces of a video content. A lot of things we could spend hours on social. I'm not going to. I'm going to make it more about other general marketing 101 today. However, social is my favorite piece. Social and buying leads are my 2 favorite pieces on this whole list for sure. Been experimenting general Medicare leads. I've had lots of success, but for book 10 appointments, expecting high close rate on them off of only $100 ad spend. That's good. IUL leads have not had much success. IUL's tough. Medicare is tough to typically, Medicare, depending on specifics, it will, the price per lead will continue to go up. It just will. Like our T65 leads, it cost me, because the way we do them, it cost, unless I'm doing like the whole country, it cost me $26 to $28 a lead. The way we do them through Kaboom to generate a T65 leads, it's way too much, but it's true story. But we're also trying to get, again, 13, 14 fields, be very specific. I only want to generate premium style leads for agents. I can generate cheap leads. I can generate 5, 6, 7 fields, 8 fields, but agents don't normally like them, which is why we do things the way we do with Kaboom. Which platform works faster for our business? If you're wanting to generate leads on social, probably just from videos, probably TikTok. That's typically what I hear. I personally love YouTube, but it takes longer. I think Facebook sucks, but it's a pay-to-play platform. It's an ad platform. So, cool. Good questions. Next, after social is emails. Okay. Email marketing. Most agents never use email marketing. Now, maybe some email follow-up, but I'm talking about building an email list of people that you can hit every day, right? Like, how often do you get if you're on my email list, how often do you get an email from Cody Askins or Kaboom, right? Is it fair to say that you get one pretty much every day, 3 times a day, right? 1 to 3, right? That is 100%. I believe you should be building an email list. And I believe Hunter Palmer should be building an email list of truckers, and he should be emailing them every day. That's just what I believe. I would venture to say I've made more than $10 million just off of emails. Just off emails. Okay. That's extreme. Not doing it to show off, but man, I love emails. Deanna, please go ahead.
So while we're on the subject, is that something that your marketing team can do so that I don't have to figure all that out? Because I have about 5,800 email contacts.
We could help,
Our VA.
but we can't do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hire VA is a good idea. And two, like, I can schedule an email in my HubSpot right now in probably 5 minutes. So it can be easier and quicker than you think. I also know what to send. So if you're like, hey, I don't know what to send, that can take a little more work, but
So it's easier to do from your CRM or whatever.
true.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And you don't want a cold email or email a subscriber list from anything else than a CRM, because they can unsubscribe. Like, you don't want to send them all from Gmail.
Okay. That's what I was wondering mostly. Yeah. I've never done any of that, but I have a lot of names that just haven't been able to get on the phone for whatever reason, that are just sitting there, that maybe if I drip on them.
Yep. And how long, and would you say that most of them, it's been over a year?
Mhm.
Okay.
Probably.
What's interesting is everybody's main concern with emails is people unsubscribing and losing them. But in your case, you've already lost them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Frankly, they're on the list, but They're like dead to your business, so
Yep.
so to speak.
Mhm.
And so I'm a big believer in the email marketing piece. I really am. I think
Cool.
it's still a massively untapped and probably the best return on investment of any marketing that we do. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Carson, go ahead,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, so I had a question just about you guys running like campaigns for agents. So if you guys were to run, let's say, just make it simple, like final expense leads for about 5 states, what would kind of be like estimated cost per lead on that?
We don't do it for agents anymore. We only do it for agencies. However, I
Okay.
can still answer your question. I mean, I guess if they're a part of Hunter Palmer's group, we technically still do, but we've got out of that. I've got out of like managing ads for agents just because they think they know more than I do and they're never happy. And they're just cheap, right? If you do them the way I do them through Kaboom, about 10 to 11 bucks per lead. If you do it the way other vendors do it, probably $7. But I want leads that remember that they filled it out, are going to answer the phone, want to talk to me. Now, nothing's ever perfect, but
Mhm.
I like survey style ads. You know, I like video ads into a survey, and I like at least 4 or 5 custom questions before all the contact info. That's just personally my preference from ads.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You got it. Thank you. Yep, good question. Yeah, Joey, you can jump in on the using CodyCRM.com, the CA system on Agent CRM in regards to email marketing if you want.
Absolutely. So, one of the things that, and it's something that I've kind of talked through with some agencies. One of the things they're doing is they are setting up a campaign for their leads that they, like Cody said, are considered dead. Some of their cutoffs have been 6 months, some of their cutoffs have been a year. But what they're doing is they're setting up 3 to 5 emails in an automation. Essentially, they write the emails, they set them up to go out one day at a time. Some of them are spacing them out 3 to 5 days. It's very, very simple in Agent CRM. If you'd like, I can, if there's enough demand for it, I could do a academy coaching call where I go through how to set up an automation and things like that for you guys. But you can set up a 5-step, 10-step, 15-step email process that's spread out over anywhere from 3 to 20 days and have it sending out emails for you. So you set it up once and it's done. And then you can use tags to drop those clients into the automations at any time.
I like
So
that
we
idea.
can go. Yeah, what I'll do, why don't we do that for one of our academy calls?
Yeah, just the next free one, just put your name on it and do that. I love that idea. I think that's super valuable. Super valuable.
Yep. Perfect. Well,
'Cause
then
I-
I won't go too far into it, but it's as simple as going to the workflows, adding additional steps for the emails, and then we'll do a class on that next available class.
Let's do it. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. I also have no clue about any of that. So I'm Leslie Lewis, how are you, sir?
Doing good. Quick question. Did I hear you say you would send out an email every day to your email list?
Yes.
Is it selling or is it informational or what do you do?
Yeah, it's a great question. That's a really good question. There's a mix. So we have a whole schedule. Joey, Slack Abby for me and ask her what our schedule, because we have like an email schedule that we follow. However, I think it does need to be a mix. It can be too salesy. So it needs to be like, oh, did you know, IULs are one of the more popular forms of saving for retirement, right? Whatever, right? Or it could be a story, could be information, could be book a call, could be, I mean, there's so many different things. Like also too, here's another example. Subscribe to an agency that uses email marketing to hit their list, even to consumers, and then get on their email list to see ideas. So like Abby, I send her names all the time, people on social media or people that have email list. And I say, go subscribe to this person and watch what they do, because then she can look and get ideas from what they're doing. And that's been a big help for us too.
when you do that on the email list, when you say email list, is that texting too? Because we're doing both.
Yep. I do not text blast unless it's like someone signs up for like an event. But we just email. My sales reps will text obviously different contacts in their HubSpot, but we just email. We just email the list. But technically, you could text as well. I wouldn't text every day. I'll tell you that for sure. Yeah. Yeah. If you're following up with a new lead, that's one thing, but a list, that's the fastest way for someone to get off my list is I start blowing up their phone with text. They're okay with emails. They're used to it. And the truth is like, think about the email, because some people that are like not on board with the email a day, think about the amount of emails that you get in a day. Think about the amount that go into inbox and go into spam and like different places. If I just emailed you once a week, would you even notice? Would you forget about me? Right? Because this whole marketing game, my buddy Roger used this the other day, so I'll use it again. I would use a different terminology, but I like it. The whole marketing game is something called TOMA, top of mind awareness. That is the marketing game. Right? Your goal is to be top of mind with everyone that is following you and all of your clients as much as you possibly can. That's the game. Now, how you accomplish that, I'm giving you ideas, but there's a lot of ways to accomplish that, especially as you're going AEP and health insurance season and all that. However, the game is entirely top of mind awareness, 100%. And I'll add this, the purpose of the email, the purpose of the subject line in an email is simply to get them to open the email. The content of the email is to get them to actually consume it and read it. The call to action is to push them somewhere. And my favorite call to action, by the way, if you guys have ever seen us do a lead sell or whatever, my favorite call to action is reply interested. Reply, I'm in. Reply, yes. Like just getting someone to reply. You guys have seen me do that over the years. Man, our best responses from emails is, yeah, reply interested to get started, or for more information, or reply learn more, reply me, whatever, that gets them just moving a little bit. Because most people, the problem they mistake with marketing, the problem with leads too, you guys have struck a chord with me. Now I'm getting excited. I'm speaking faster and I'm still on this topic. However, the problem with everybody is they want to take someone from step A to step Z as fast as possible. No. This thing takes time. Like, I don't want to sell. I don't want to close a huge client through an email. I just want to get them to raise their hand. And then it's my sales rep's job to do the rest. Well, dude, the same thing is true for leads. For our term life insurance leads, my job is to get someone to raise their hand and say, I would like to talk to someone about term life insurance. I would like a little bit more information about life insurance. I would like to look at something. Then it's the rep's job to take it from there and do everything else. Now, whether someone wants to admit that or not, I don't know, but like that is 100% the piece to this. Also, Joey, I thought it wasn't recording for a second because Zoom moved it into the top corner and it's not on the screen anymore, and it just about scared me to death. Okay. However, I see it's recording. Thank you. Good thing is it's supposed to auto record, which is good. Email piece, big. Okay. Does every contact receive the same email? Yes. For me, they do. Now, could we send an email to, okay, so say I'm sending an email about 2025 tickets for 8%. It makes sense to be the first people to hit are the people that bought 2024 tickets, right? So we also can segment, and we have a bunch of different lists. So we could segment and email different stuff. Typically it's just always to the same individuals, but we could segment. Next is event marketing. Now this could be done different ways. This could be seminars. This could be client appreciation events. This could be networking events. This could be you throw a concert for your whole city. Like I'll give you an example. 2 guys in Idaho, they just did a client appreciation events. They had like 450 people show up to one and like 150 show up to the other city. They did 2. Well, they have like 7,000 or 8,000 clients. So they thought the show rate sucked. And Yeah, it kind of does. However, they felt like they spent like 25 grand and they don't think they got any extra new business out of it at all. And that everybody that came were current, recent clients. Okay. This is kind of the point. And if nobody expresses interest in retirement or anything else or long-term care or whatever, it's definitely their fault for sure. They got to accept responsibility. However, it got me thinking. I said, okay, I said, well, what do you expect when you're throwing a client appreciation event? The goal is the initial goal is to keep clients. Keeping revenue is still important. It is. And what's funny is they're like, well, I'm like, what's the goal? They're like, well, we'd love them to like bring new people and like, add some new policies and add some new clients. I'm like, okay, did you tell them to bring a friend? Did you position new products? Or if the goal is attention and new blood, then you spent 25 grand, spend 50 and host a concert with a huge name in your city that nobody's ever done. Rent a field, throw a freaking huge concert, spend 50 grand. Would it have done twice as well? Or like, yeah, probably so. Would it be easier to get your 50 back? Yes. Does anybody ever do that in insurance? No. But if I was selling insurance, that's the way I would think because it's super unique. It's attention getting. I want everyone in the freaking city to be talking about me. I just do. Like, you guys hear that. What do you think my goal is in the insurance industry that we're talking about right now? Right? What do you think the goal is? The goal is always entirely for every single person in the industry to think about Cody Askins as much as humanly possible. Not in a selfish, weird way. I need to be top of mind so they think about us and want to do more with us. That's the game. Now, how you play it is entirely up to you. Because it's easy to be in insurance and complain that nobody's doing business with me. Nobody's buying from me. All this stuff. Dude, I don't have that problem. I don't have that problem. And if I did, it's because I'm either not putting in enough activity, I'm not spending enough money, I'm not hiring enough people, I'm not believing big enough, I'm not going all in enough. Like there's layers to it, but like you've got to figure out what that is. A VA said that 31 out of 972 opened the email. Is that good or bad? That sucks. That is not good. That's like, what is it, like 3%? Yeah, 3.3. I mean, yeah, just under 3.1%. I will go look and tell you what some of our recent open rates is. Well, we also have 2 email lists. So we have the Kaboom Shopify email list, and then we have the HubSpot email list. So now I'm really sending out more emails because I have both email lists, which is kind of nice. I'm building an email list inside Shopify, and I'm building an email list in my current email list in HubSpot, which is cool. My last email that was sent, the open rate was 54%, which is high, by the way. That's from Shopify, though. Those people that have already bought leads from us. And there's a bunch of people on that list. I don't know how many I could look, but the HubSpot one, I guess if I looked at that, let me see. That went out to the Shopify one, 54% open rate. That went out to, you guys are really getting behind the scenes. This next piece is worth $49. That went out to 1,714 people. Okay. And I got a 55% open rate. That's pretty good. I look at HubSpot though, it's going to be lower because it's just more people. Hunter, see what the subject line was and put the subject line in the chat for me while I'm looking this other thing up. If I go to email, my last email from HubSpot this one only went to 31,000, even though we have about 90,000 agents in our email list. That one went to 31,000 and we had a 13.64% open rate. So the big difference, right? However, it can be way higher than 3%. And are those leads, and do truckers open in leads, emails less than insurance agents? Possibly so, right? Possibly so. I don't know. But those are some of the things that I think about. Okay. So let me know what the subject line was in chat when you can, and I'm going to go ahead and keep it moving. Next is podcast. Okay, that's the number 6th strategy, podcast. Only about 10% make it to 50 episodes. Most never make it to 50. There's only a 5 to 10% success rate, kind of like insurance. Podcasts are really tough, but the beauty of a podcast is it gives you video content. When you're interviewing someone, it gives you video and social content. That's the actual beauty of it, is you never have to say, I don't have content, because you're doing at least 20, 30 minutes a week. So the beauty of it is it gives you content to then distribute on different platforms, cut up, share with your guest, put it up on social, all different things, right? Bunch of examples of that. Podcast is a play. Do I think it's the best way to go sell a bunch of insurance? No, but I think it's intriguing. Here's the actually probably the better the after the content. Here's the next best piece of the podcast. I can invite anyone in the industry. Here's an example of how I use it. I can invite anyone in the industry to be on my podcast. Now we charge now. However, it was like a big name. They are one-on-one with me privately on a link. I can ask them whatever I want. I can talk to them about whatever I want. We can talk before the podcast. We can talk after the podcast. They are then sitting there solo with me. And so I could say, hey, if this does well, I'm guessing you'd like to do more of this, wouldn't you? Well, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, let's make sure it does well. And let's jump back on a call in 2 weeks. Whatever, right? Like they're a captive audience to you at that point. That's another beauty of a podcast. Let's create financial security for your family. Yes. Oh, that was the name. Yeah, I think it's weak. For sure. What's crazy is I think you could take that same email, resend it with a different subject line, don't even change the email, and you could probably 2 or 3x your open rate. Well, let's test, and then you can report back to the academy on if this worked or not, and you could send it tomorrow. New subject line. Go ahead.
So what I've done, I've just let her do it. Like, we haven't gone over anything. This is just stuff she sent out on her own, and I have had no part in it.
Okay, you may want to have at least some part in reviewing subject lines a little bit. And the goal should be entirely to get them to raise their hand so they can be called, or to get them to be booked, or to just get them to book entirely on their own. I think something about my favorite subject line, I don't think it would work for what you do, but my favorite subject line is, can you meet me there? Because then people think they're supposed to be somewhere. I love that. Also, I like doing this where I put like the word reminder and then a colon, like right after the word reminder. And then I put like a bunch of, like some text after that. That's kind of funny because they think it's a calendar invite or invitation, right? And then a bunch of text after that. Like there's creative ways to get people's attention with emails. Just look at my emails. Like if I go look at like my last like that one that got 13.4, let's see. Well, that one said, here's my exact script. Like, okay, people love that kind of stuff. So you got to think, okay, what do they care about, and how do we get their attention? Yeah, we can think through that in the school community together. We can all give you some ideas. Next, number 7 is Google and YouTube. I didn't plan on using all my time today, but looks like I'm going to do that again. Has this been valuable? Yes or no in chat. If this has been valuable today, if it has not, it is okay. I would rather you be honest. Not something I get to share every day because it's normally just, hey, let's talk about leads or, social. But I'm like, hey, there's a lot of things we've learned about general marketing content that we don't share a lot. So, okay, cool. Love that. Appreciate all the S's. Google and YouTube. Google and YouTube reviews. Reviews are extremely important when it comes to Google. You need to Google My Business and you need to get reviews. Only for the sole fact, even if you don't have a brick and mortar and you don't want leads in your city, that's okay. If you have a company name and people are going to go look up Lakeview and they go search it because they're thinking about buying from Deanna and they go search in Google, what are they going to find? That's the only reason why that is important. Okay. And I saw her, she said, you're not going to find anything, nothing, right? Maybe TikTok. Okay. Well, the good news is y'all get to choose what they see. So like as an example, my Google rating was low. Then I got a bunch of clients to leave me good reviews, and now I'm like a 4 point something, right? We have the occasional agent who buys leads that is not any good at sales. They don't make any money, and then they blame me. That's going to happen even in your business, right? Totally. Like I know a guy locally that farmers denied a claim. And so he used to drive around a truck, and on the back of the truck, it said farmers insurance sucks in all capital letters, all over his tailgate, massive letters, farmers insurance sucks, right? So, how do you do that without brick building, without a brick and mortar? Oh, without a brick and mortar building. That's a good question. Somebody was saying the other day that they don't think you can actually do it if you don't have like a physical address. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Cody, I can speak to that.
Please.
So you have to put in some sort of physical address. If you're fortunate enough to live somewhere where you could rent like a UPS box that gives you a physical street address, even though it's a post office box, you can use that for your business. I use my home address as my business to set up with my Google, which has then allowed me to go for Dun and Bradstreet and a bunch of other, like the Yellow Pages and a bunch of other places to find people.
I wonder
it's not.
too, I wonder too, Durkee, if you could do like if you were renting a space out of like a WeWork or something, if you could like actually list that address in some way. I don't know, but
You could if there's an arrangement for you to be able to get mail there or something.
Yeah.
Or you have specific hours at that location.
So according to Google, there are virtual office addresses that you can utilize. If you put a physical address in that is not a virtual office, that address will be visible to the public anytime somebody searches you. So be conscious of that if you're using your home address, but it looks like there are virtual address options available.
Yeah, you can use mine for $97 a month. Okay. That's not a bad idea, actually. That's kind of funny. But Tori's like, hey, why don't we all use you give us some suite numbers that you're building. I think that's hilarious. I'm surprised someone's not like renting like office ability to use their office address for their Google listing or something crazy. Like that's hilarious. Okay, got it. Huh. Interesting, right? Second would be finding the title first. When we're using YouTube videos, you should never wonder what to do it on. You should go find videos that have done well, and you should use that exact same title on your video. Keep it simple. Okay, keep it simple. And then last but not least, testimonials is the 8th strategy. I think we use this strategy as well as anyone I have ever seen. Deanna, what do you think about that? You were commenting. I can see you.
I have a bad case of FOMO. So every time I see a testimonial or something, I'm like, well, I want to do what they're doing. If they're doing that, I want to try it. So yeah. And I have definitely, there's a really cool thing on Canva where you can also make it on your own, like take your client's words. And I do ask for permission before I do that, but you can, say whatever you want to say and do it for them or whatever, and it works pretty good. But yeah, every time I see one of yours, I'm like, well, I want to do what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And
That's
that's the interesting part about it. Like, every product we have a bunch of people who have used it successfully, no matter what it is, whether other people liked it or didn't like it. That's the beauty of it, because we can prove it with screenshots, audios, video. I was at an event at Louisville Slugger in Kentucky on was that Friday night? Yeah, Friday night. And I had 2 agents walk up to me. One said, "Hey bro, I spent like $1,200 on your local leads and I wrote 8,000." I'm like, "Oh, that's sick." but it was funny is then he's like, I'm inconsistent. I'm like, well, how often do you give me $1,200? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, dude, if you gave me $1,200 and I always gave you 8,000, how many times would you give me $1,200? He's like, as often as I could. I'm like, well, why don't you go back to the well? Why don't you just go back to the well every freaking week? Right? That's just the problem with agents is they have success and they don't literally do it every week, every week, every week, every week. And he's like, well, $1,200 is a lot of money. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but if you knew it was gonna hit your card, you would work your freaking tail off. You would work your tail off to make sure that you did your best. And that investment actually puts pressure on you as an agent. And people need pressure to remain consistent. Stevenson, I'm actually getting agents to call me off my testimonial clip. Cody, call. That's awesome. I love that. Also, we had another agent that said he bought 3 batches of our final expense leads. He spent like $3,000. One batch did good. One batch did good. One batch did less good. He still made a sell, but it did less good. He's like, and that $3,000 turned into 17 grand and change. I'm like, well, bro, he's like, yeah, but the third batch didn't do good. I'm like, yeah, dude, but if you knew every time you spent $3,000, you were going to make 17, who freaking cares? Like, stop focusing on the one bad or subpar batch. If you knew that 67% of the time it was going to go well, who freaking cares about the other 33%? That's the problem with agents and their mindset. 100%. Dan said, I need to do a testimonial. I bought $3,000 in leads and sold about $30,000 plus so far. Still have tons to work. Please, 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 please. That'd be amazing. I would love that. And that's the beauty of it. Like, did all the leads answer the phone? No. Did all the leads buy? No. Well, you know what I mean? But did every stretch of leads every couple days or week or whatever produce the same results? No. However, I am confident that if someone bought our leads, I'll even go on a limb and say this. This is probably true for any marketing, but we'll make it about us for a second. Okay. Any agent that buys leads every week for an entire year, 52 weeks worth, they will end up 2, 3, 4xing their money, even though some weeks will suck. However, agents don't believe that to the level that I do, so they never actually invest in their business for an entire year. I've seen very few agents ever in the history of insurance that ever bought leads every week for a year. Those that did, though, they're doing like $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year, right? For sure, for sure. But I'm telling you, that is more of a secret sauce than people think. And I don't care where you put your money. That is more of a secret sauce than people think. We also, one of the things we do, we have a winning Slack channel with our team where we can share wins. I may be able to show you some behind the scenes really quick. Where we actually share wins with our team. And so you guys can see this by thumbs up. Yeah. So this is our winning Slack channel. Joey just put this in earlier from a guy, and they said that, like, hey, dude, the training on your annuity marketing system is freaking amazing. Well, then last week I had someone else, hey, first lead, boom, I booked an appointment. Someone else said, oh my gosh, whatever you're doing with your term is even more profitable than it used to be. Okay, cool. Somebody else said, hey, just wrote a $200,000 annuity app from an IUL lead. Like, we have these coming in. This is just since Wednesday. We have these coming in. Here's some reviews, right? Somebody's like, hey, top tier IUL leads. Oh, that was Carson. Let's go, bro. You're amazing. Also someone else, it just says customer, said they recommend us as a source, right? So we are sharing this with our team, and then we have assets that we can then go use to brag on our products and services. You need to have stuff like this so that you can publicize it to the world. You can use it in ads, you can use it in emails, you can put it on stories, you can talk about it, you can show it off, like all of those things. Maybe they can be anonymous when they're leaving a review. I don't know. However, that's the beauty of that kind of stuff. Okay, we have 3 minutes. Obviously, I could stay long if I need to. Any questions of anything I discussed today? I know I threw a lot at you. Hopefully it wasn't too much, but I don't get to, I'm only on once or twice a month now. We have other coaches that come in and help you. So I want to make sure when I'm on, I'm bringing the heat, as Joey would say. Cool. Okay. If you found this valuable, then just stay in the academy for life. You guys are amazing. Love you all. Have an amazing week. Jump in school. Let's hang out, and we'll see you next Monday. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Cody.
Adios.